Hello, everybody. We are here with ME this morning, and the E is for entrepreneurs and the M is for motivators. This is a platform where we talk to entrepreneurs, we talk to coaches, we talk to authors, and this morning we have Tara Tucker with us. She is an author, and you can't wait to get a load of some of the titles of her book. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing well. Thank you, Renata. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm definitely glad to have you here. I'm excited. So I have just some background questions. I always ask this of writers. I myself have been writing since I was 8 years old in some form of fashion, started with poetry. So when did you start writing? When did you get that writing bug?
I actually started to write as a child. My mother was a poet and a writer, and I started writing with her, under her, listening to her, sitting at her feet. I was first published in eighth grade. I've had articles written and published in the Detroit Free Press. So I've been writing a long time. I just didn't know that I would do it as a career. I just thought it was something fun. I love to share my opinion, and I just like to write creatively. So it's been a while. Been writing for quite some time.
So now I have to ask you a double question.
Okay.
Who was your most influential poet as a child? And then to back that up on that question, what was the first book that really impacted you?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, the first influential poet would have to be my mother because when I was younger, she was my whole world. I didn't know a lot about authors and poet. I just knew her, and she was so prolific. She wrote about the state of Black America, and she always wrote about love, and she was just really deep. I didn't get into the deep books until I was older. I used to read Harlequin romances for so long, and my favorite author was Sidney Sheldon. And I loved Sidney Sheldon, and his books were so like it lit a fire in me because of his writing style. So when I wrote my book, Everybody Kneeling Ain't Praying, I wrote it like a Sidney Sheldon novel. Even though it was my real life, I wrote it fast paced, creatively, full of action, so that it keeps the reader flowing and moving through the book. And he really influenced me.
We're gonna have to roll that back because you just went over that title real quick.
Which
So
one?
that one about everybody kneeling not prayer, and then you said that's based on a true story. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, we're
yeah,
gonna stop right
girl.
here. We're gonna go further, but we're gonna stop right here now. Come
Okay.
on, Dish, gotta know about it.
Okay, so everybody kneeling ain't praying. That's my memoir. And it's true. You know, everybody kneeling ain't praying. Everyone has something going on. Everyone is not who they seem. And yeah, I wrote about that, and that is my life. That is my life.
So that sounds like there's some church hurt going on there, or some church stuff.
Believe it or not, the church didn't come into later. I didn't even know anything about church per se. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness. So I didn't know about church until later on. That's actually a life lesson because there are people that you'll meet anywhere and you think that they're one way, they present themselves one way, but they're totally different. You know, they have, or they may act like, oh, I don't know, a person of integrity and, I am a faithful person to my spouse but they're not. That's what I mean. Everybody knows praying. I used to live as an escort. I worked as an escort. I used to be a dancer and then I was a madam. So in that line of work and business, I met a lot of people. People in politics, people in the clergy, just people in general. And I knew that what I saw before me and what people see in their perception is not always what it is. So yeah, I saw that also when I got into church, when God saved me, but I knew it before that. So it's bigger than church. It's people.
Oh, that's for sure. Now, see, you just lay these bombs like just so subtly, like, okay, yeah, and I used to be an escort, a
Yeah.
dancer, and a madam.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's kind of a different career path. Um, how did you get into all of that?
girl. Okay, so you're taking me. I'm gonna say it happened because of the rejection as a child. My birth, my entry here on this glorious earth of ours came with lots of trauma. My biological father repeatedly stabbed my mother when she was pregnant with me, and I was born that night. So after that, she went back to her husband because I was a love child. Her and her husband were separated. She went back to her husband with me. So I was rejected. I was molested. Then I was molested again by a neighbor. Then I was molested again. Like I had so much inappropriate touching by the age of 12, even by a girl, that I was so confused. And then I started to think that my body was a commodity, that people liked me, loved me when they touched me. Um, and I started to like gain power from that. So my identity was skewed, my reality was skewed. So what the first thing I did when I went out to dance, it was a natural progression. When you dance and you get offered, I did sensual massages. When you dance, you get offered money to go on a date, different things. And it's just like a natural progression if you allow it to go into escorting. And I did that for many years of my life. And then one day I came to myself. One day I was sitting in the room and I'm like, what am I doing here? What am I doing in this room? Opening doors to strangers. What am I doing? And I would travel, not just stay in my city, but I would travel out the state. I was a traveling escort also. And yeah, I decided to get on the other side, which I thought was better to let girls work for me and I don't sit in a room, but it was no better because I was really, now I'm exploiting them, but I didn't understand it at the time. I didn't understand it. It was just like, get your money. And it was the world that I lived in. And any world that you live in, people you're around, whatever behavior that you engage in is normalized. It really is. It's normalized. If those are the people you're around, the situations you see, everyone's doing it, it's normal to you. And when you're not, you're like square. You don't hang with those people. So that was my life for about 15 years.
Wow, that's heavy in so many different ways. It's
Yeah.
that's a lot to lift. And definitely writing is very cathartic
Yes.
in getting that out, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, Renata. Such a healing.
That's amazing. So you went on and you got out of that life, and what was that? You had that turning point. So what has that journey been like from there?
Well, you know what happened? I would continually try to live a normal life. And I thank God because I didn't jump with 2 feet. I would put one leg in that world, one leg in the quote unquote real world, and try to live in both, at different points of my life. And I met my current husband. And when I met him full of lies. I would say I was an office manager. I constantly had several phones and laptop. And he's like, what do you do? I'm always on the phone. I'm always still in the way to go talk. And through him, I met the Lord Jesus. God started calling me. It was a lot. But my turning point came from this relationship and also being introduced to the Lord. When he started to call me out the world. And I answered the call. I always tell people I didn't send him the voicemail. I actually answered the call. And it was very difficult to give up that life. It was very difficult to give up the money because it was vast and it was regular. When I answered the call, my life changed and it wasn't for the better because I started to struggle and I didn't understand. I told you, Laura, why am I struggling? Financially struggling, a lot of struggle. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. I don't know how deep you want me to go, but a lot of things happened. And I started writing the books that you see now during my cancer journey. And that was in 2017.
Well, I hope you're on the other side of that journey.
Yes, girl. Yes. Thank you, Jesus. I am a stage 3 breast cancer survivor, and I am so thankful. So thankful.
That's good. Every time I talk to people, the journey that people take, because sometimes we feel isolated and like we're the only one that's going through something. And then to be able to hear the stories and be able to see that the human condition it's the same. The struggle might be different, but the conditions are the same for sure.
Yes. Yeah. I love that
So,
you said that. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, no. Uh, so where is your writing going today? And if you had, and I kind of asked two-part questions. So where's your writing today? And if you wanted someone to take one thing away from your writing, if you had one message that you wanted people to walk away and saying, yes, Tara, this is what I'm getting, what would that message be? And where's your writing going today? And what is that message you want people to take away?
Okay, so part one, where is my writing going today? My writing is full of authenticity and transparency, even today in faith. So that's how I write, and that's how I will continue to write because I do believe, as you said earlier, as you alluded to, we share this human experience, and I don't believe that my testimony is my own. I do believe that what I've gone through is for someone else, and not only to strengthen me and to show me who I am and what I'm made of and how I am an overcomer, but to show others also who may have similar situations or may not be as deep as mine, but maybe with it not being as deep, they're like, okay, I can get through this. If she got through that. So I write like that. I'm going to continue to write transparent. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be bold. And I'm always going to have faith mixed with it. And my message overall, and especially to Black women, women in general, but I just really have a heart for our women because I am a Black woman, is that your voice matters. I really want them to understand that what you've gone through in your past does not disqualify you from your future. It does not disqualify you from your purpose. It actually points to your purpose. So that's my main message, is just for them to understand that their voice matters and they're not disqualified because of the past trauma that they've gone through.
That is awesome. For
Amen.
sure. And we all have a testimony. And
Mm-hmm.
some of ours are more than others, but we
Mm-hmm.
all have a testimony. So to have your writing stand for that. So what's coming up for you?
Oh, okay. So I am part of Black Women Confidential. So I'll be speaking. I'm a keynote speaker at Black Women Confidential this year, and also I'm part of the anthology. That book won't be out until later in the year, so I'm really excited about that. I am also I am the founder of Jewel's Ladies of Prayer, and we have our quarterly Sister Talk conference in March. I have a few things going on. I have another book coming out, and it's called You're Not Disqualified. And just to encourage women just to overcome shame, guilt, and the imposter syndrome, all of which I am very acquainted with. What else? What else? I have started a group, and it's called Black Women Empowered to Write. You can access it at blackwomenwrite.club. And that place is for us to remove the metaphorical mask and just write and talk. And I do master classes in there. So a few things, and guess what, Renata? Whatever else the Lord has in store,
I'm telling you,
I,
in other
I'm
words, you're a black woman.
yeah, thank you. I'm out here walking by faith and saying yes and letting Him lead. And I would have never, when I started Tucker Publishing House, my business model was not just for Black women, but the Lord literally switched everything and flipped it and put me along this path. And I just thank him that he did, because I am meeting some amazing women who did not know that their story mattered, who didn't know that they can speak it. You know, what would people say? They were so burdened with shame. So I thank God for allowing me to be a voice to speak into their lives to help them break those chains. I am thankful. I am excited. I'm thankful to even know you also, Renata. I'm excited for what he's doing. I really am.
Well, I'm excited to know you, and this has been a fantastic interview. Just a little insight. I'm sure it makes me and everybody, I'm sure, that's going to listen to this to want to run and get your books with it. Make sure that we have the links. Cause I want to read all of them. I want to hear all the tea. Okay, I want to drink
She
all the
said
tea. I
all
want
the
to know
tea.
all of it. Okay.
All
It
right
sounds
now.
very intriguing and victorious and hopeful, and for the things that you're doing in the publishing space, because it's important for us to be able to tell our stories. It's
Yes.
Black History Month, and when I was making what did I want to do for Black History Month, and I thought about the most important thing it is for us to be able to tell our own stories. For so long, people have told our stories for us.
Come
But
on.
it's important not only as Black people to tell our stories, but as Black women to tell
Come
our
on.
stories, because many of our stories have been told from the perspective of a Black man. But we need to tell our stories and hear our voices. And it sounds like that is exactly what you're doing over at Tucker Publishing.
Exactly.
So I just want to thank you for being with us today, and being a part of our platform. And we wish you every success. We'll be looking out for the things that you have coming up.
Thank
So
you.
just have an awesome day.
Thank you, Renata. You lit a fire just quick. I wanted to run through my house. I was trying to not to clap at what you just said because it's so true. I want you to have an awesome day also. And I just want everyone to be inspired. Know that you can do it. Know that nothing can stop you. I don't care what you've gone through. Keep moving. Keep pushing forward. Reframe it. Oh, I can say so much. I know we have to get off this call, but I just want people to be inspired, especially women, especially Black women, my sisters. You are phenomenal, amazing, powerful, feminine. Oh, beautiful women. Keep
I
going.
love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah,
Keep
we could be
going.
on here for hours
Girl,
for sure.
all right. Thank you,
But
Renata. Blessings to
you're
you.
You're welcome. So thank you. You guys heard it. This is what we do on EM. We give a platform for people to amplify their voices. So make sure you join us on our next episode.